The year is 2025. Donald Trump is back in the White House, and with him, his signature economic policy tariffs. The America First agenda has been reignited with a vengeance. This isn't just a minor policy tweak. It's a fundamental shift in how America interacts with the global economy. The president wasted no time. His administration quickly announced new import taxes. These tariffs target a wide range of goods. The stated goal is to protect American industries. He says this will bring back American jobs. But the reality is far more complex. What exactly are these new tariffs? They are taxes on goods imported into the United States. President Trump believes this makes foreign goods more expensive. In theory, this should encourage Americans to buy American-made products. He argues this protects domestic manufacturers from unfair foreign competition. He also frames tariffs as a tool for national security. He claims reliance on other countries for essential goods is a weakness. This narrative resonates with a segment of the population. They feel left behind by globalization. They believe tariffs are the answer to their economic woes. The political landscape is equally fractured, with debates raging about the wisdom of this path. We are, it seems, charting a course into turbulent economic waters. The global economy did not wait long to react to Trump's tariff announcements. Financial markets, which loathe uncertainty, experienced immediate volatility. Stock exchanges around the world saw nervous trading. Investors are trying to price in the risk of escalating trade disputes. The US dollar fluctuated as traders assessed the potential impact on American economic growth. Commodity prices also saw shifts, particularly for materials directly targeted by the new import duties. Specific industries felt the pinch almost immediately. Steel and aluminum producers were among the first to see new tariffs imposed on imports. The automotive sector, heavily reliant on global supply chains, braced for higher costs on parts and materials. Electronics manufacturers, from smartphones to home appliances, also face new challenges. Many of these products rely on components sourced from multiple countries. Tariffs disrupt these intricate networks. The administration claims this will force companies to produce more in America. However, rebuilding domestic supply chains is a slow and expensive process. It cannot happen overnight, and the costs will be significant. Early signs of inflation are already beginning to surface. When businesses have to pay more for imported goods or components, they face a choice. They can absorb the cost and reduce their profit margins, or pass the increased cost onto consumers in the form of higher prices. This means everyday Americans will start to see prices creep up. The revival of tariffs under the Trump administration sends immediate tremors across North America. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, was meant to stabilize trade in the region. Yet, the new tariffs challenge the spirit, if not the letter, of that agreement. Canada and Mexico are two of America's largest trading partners. Their economies are deeply intertwined with the U.S. economy. Any disruption to this trade has significant consequences for all three nations. The America First policy, by its very nature, puts these relationships under strain. Canada, in particular, finds itself in a vulnerable position. The Canadian economy relies heavily on exports to the United States. Key Canadian industries could be hard hit by new U.S. tariffs. Think of lumber, a frequent target in past trade disputes. Consider dairy products, always a sensitive issue. The integrated automotive sector, with parts and vehicles crossing the border multiple times, is also at risk. Canadian businesses are expressing deep concern. They fear losing access to their largest market. They also worry about the impact on investment and job creation in Canada. Mexico faces a similar, though distinct, set of challenges. Its manufacturing sector has grown significantly. Thanks in part to trade with the U.S., new tariffs could disrupt these operations severely. The consumer's burden, trade wars hit home. The most direct impact of tariffs on everyday Americans comes in the form of higher prices. It's a simple economic reality. When the government imposes a tax on imported goods, someone has to pay that tax. While President Trump has often claimed that foreign countries like China pay the tariffs, most economists disagree. The cost is typically paid by the American companies that import the goods. These companies, in turn, usually pass that cost on to consumers. So the America First tariffs often mean higher prices for American families. This is not a hidden cost. It shows up on price tags at the store. We can expect to see price increases on a wide range of everyday items. Think about your washing machine or refrigerator. If key components or the entire appliance are imported, tariffs will make them more expensive. Cars are another major example. The auto industry has complex global supply chains. Tariffs on imported parts or assembled vehicles will inevitably lead to higher sticker prices. Voices from the North and South. Canadian and Mexican perspectives. From Canada, the reaction to renewed U.S. tariffs is one of deep concern. The Canadian government emphasizes the importance of the bilateral trade relationship. Trade is mutually beneficial. Canadian officials will engage in diplomatic efforts. They will seek exemptions or negotiate resolutions. Business leaders are voicing their anxieties. Industries like steel, aluminum, and forestry are particularly worried. They fear job losses and reduced investment. Canada feels caught in the crossfire of American protectionism. Mexico, too, is watching the situation unfold with apprehension. The Mexican government faces a delicate balancing act. It needs to protect its export industries. It must manage a complex relationship with the U.S. Issues like immigration and security cooperation are always on the table. The Mexican response will likely involve negotiation and, if necessary, targeted retaliation. Mexican businesses are preparing for uncertainty. U.S. tariffs can have a swift and severe impact on their operations. Global pushback: China and Europe. React to renewed tariffs. China's reaction to new Trump tariffs will be firm and strategic. Beijing has a playbook for dealing with U.S. protectionism. Expect retaliatory tariffs targeting sensitive U.S. sectors. The European Union will also respond forcefully to U.S. tariffs. A united front is probable despite internal debates. The EU has shown its willingness to retaliate. Key European industries could be affected by U.S. tariffs. Retaliatory tariffs from both China and the EU are inevitable. Balancing act: chaos, consequences, and contested gains. In mid-2025, the negative consequences of Trump's tariff revival are apparent. Rising inflation squeezes American household budgets. Relationships with key allies like Canada, Mexico, and the European Union are strained. International supply chains are disrupted, creating uncertainty and higher costs. American consumers pay more for a wide range of goods. Retaliatory tariffs hurt American exporters, especially in agriculture. The promised benefits of these policies seem elusive, while the costs are real. Proponents argue tariffs protect national security and encourage reshoring. They claim tariffs reduce reliance on foreign suppliers for critical goods. They argue tariffs can bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States. Some see tariffs as a tool to gain leverage in international negotiations. Short-term pain might lead to long-term gains for the American economy. However, these arguments often downplay significant economic disruption. The evidence for these benefits achieving their goals is historically weak. The long-term outcome of this tariff strategy remains highly uncertain. Will these policies genuinely revitalize American manufacturing, or will they lead to a less efficient, higher-cost economy? The risk is that tariffs become a permanent feature of the economic landscape. This would distort investment decisions and reduce overall productivity. Businesses thrive on predictability and stability.